All right. Welcome to the program. Okay, so, it must be nice to be President Trump now because, I don't think he has to put a lot of preparation into speeches anymore because he's just living it all the time. And so he's just, okay, we're going to talk about this now. He must have driven up to the UN. Where are we now? UN. Oh, yeah, I got a few things to say to them. He just walks out and he's like, I don't really care. But boy, did he say a lot, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, he said a lot. Give me the highlights.
All right, let me go through here real quick. Basically started off with saying how we're the hottest country in the world.
Yeah, we are.
All of his accomplishments. He thanked El Salvador, as I mentioned a bunch of countries that he was working with, Saudi Arabia, UAE, talked about his trade deals, went on a big rant about how he's ended 7 unendable wars.
Well, didn't he? Is this the point where he said, I don't even know what the UN is for. I've ended all these wars without any of you.
Yes, he said never even received a phone call from the UN to help. That's when the teleprompter stopped working, and he told a story about the escalator not working halfway up, and then he was excited because the First Lady's in great shape and she didn't fall over on the escalator.
But he was stranded there for 20 minutes.
No, he said,
what does he say?
No, there you go. And by the way, I'm in great shape too. We're both in great shape. That's
locked up the elevator.
Yep. Then he asked what the purpose of the UN was. He said not living up to potential. He said everyone says that he should get the Nobel Peace Prize for what he's done, which I think there's certainly with the Abraham Accords. I think there's an argument for it.
There's an argument for a few things,
and he's tried. Again, I don't know that the 7 wars. You can quibble with that, but he has definitely very much tried over and over again to stop a bunch of these wars.
He's effected 7 in his term. I think he has stopped 4.
I tried to type them as he was saying them. He mentioned Cambodia, Thailand, Kosovo, Serbia, Congo, Rwanda, Pakistan, Israel, Iran, Ethiopia, and Azerbaijan. Now, that's as much as I could get. There's a couple that I think I missed in there. But
it's a pretty big deal.
But Israel-Iran is a great example of this. Is there a war over? I mean, again, he said, it's a 12-day war. It's over. Well, I mean, first of all, we helped end it with giant bombs.
Yes.
It wasn't exactly
it's fine.
But again, I'm fine with all of this. I just think you can quibble with some of the details. The bottom line, though, is he's been very involved in trying to stop wars. I would say it's one of his most highest priorities, I would say, since he got into office again. He mentioned then he went into a big rant about how he was upset he didn't get the UN construction job. Did mention that he would have given them nice marble floors instead of you having to walk on terrazzo. You walk on terrazzo. Do you realize that? You're walking on terrazzo.
Did he actually say that?
Over and over.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Is that when the teleprompter was down?
It was, I don't know. That might have been on prompter. Then he went to the Hamas. He said, hey, I don't know, instead of giving in to Hamas and their demands, basically criticizing these countries. It was the UK and a couple others, right, that went in and said, we're going to recognize Palestinian statehood, saying instead of giving in to their demands, we should be talking about how the hostages should be released. Mm-hmm. That was very strong. Mentioned Russia, said if they don't enter the war, we'll hit them with all these tariffs.
Did say that the war with Israel and Gaza has to stop now.
He did say that.
Now.
And I think if you see that headline, you might indicate, oh gosh, well, he's criticizing Israel. It seems to me to be much more that he was saying Hamas release the hostages.
And then we can end it.
And it should end immediately after that. Talked about biological weapons. He said this is an interesting part. He said he wanted to lead the U.S. to lead a process that will identify a mechanism for AI verification on biological weapons. And he's like, we'll see if this AI works. They say it's going to be amazing. We'll see if it works. But he wanted to use that to try to stop biological weapons in some way. I'm not exactly sure the mechanism on that, but that's kind of an interesting use of the technology, perhaps. It went into a big thing about how the UN was supporting illegal immigration, that they were funding it, they were bringing people across the border.
And they are. We proved that. We have the documents with the UN logo at the bottom. We have the documents that prove that.
Said the death of Western Europe is coming if they don't act on their own borders.
True.
Mentioned false asylum claims, a big problem. He said we need to understand that we have a big heart, but we have to solve this problem. He then did this quote. This is the one quote I took verbatim. Quote, I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. It's hard to disagree with.
That's like, again, that goes back to him getting out of the car. Where are we?
Yeah,
United Nations. I got a few things to say.
Yeah.
They're going to hell.
Bashed windmills.
Can't do it enough.
Another one that was newsworthy, I thought he said, one thing you'll notice, people don't like taking big loads of drugs in boats anymore. I mean, it's not even about the policy.
Yeah, but I love it.
Stylistically, it was a lot of fun. Whether you like the policies or not.
You're missing a really good time. Even if you don't like the policies, it is a good time to have somebody just to say that kind of stuff at the UN. I mean, no one says this stuff. No one.
No.
And it's kind of nice. It's like, you don't like me. It goes back, honestly. Do you remember when I said, if we get Obama, our president, our next president, is going to be a big guy who's got ketchup on his tie. Right. And he'll be like, did I just fart? I'm sorry, I farted here for a minute. Woo! And I was right. He hadn't done the fart thing, but he's that guy. He just says it. And I actually appreciate it because you know who he is. Like it or not, you know who he is.
It's true, and he is very clear about that. I kind of wondered as I was listening to it. I'm like, is this how all these UN speeches are? Like,
no.
But I remember we used to call him President Tom because we couldn't pronounce his name.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
Ahmadinejad, yeah. He came in and he'd always be like, the apocalypse is coming, and we're hastening the return.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. We're like, wait, what the hell did he just say? Like, are they all just saying stuff like this? Like, maybe it's like every one of these guys just comes in and says whatever they want. We just ignore all these other countries all the time. Maybe that's what's happening.
Could be.
It could be that.
It could be. Do you remember? I've just remembered. Remember, I think it was it Hugo Chavez who said, was it George Bush? I think it was George Bush where Hugo Chavez was speaking and he said, it smells like sulfur in here.
Yes, I think that this might just be what's going on in the UN. Yeah. It might be a great show we haven't watched. It's like a Netflix special from 2014. We missed the entire series. Maybe it's great.
We should go back and look at that because we might be missing a great comedy show that's going to get us all killed.